Creating a landscape in Procreate. Part 1, using layers and the autofill tool. Using the Procreate app, you're going to open it up and see the main screen. If you open the app up and somebody's artwork is filling the page, on the top left-hand corner, you're going to press the word Gallery and go back to the main screen. We are going to upload a photo of our sketch that we took in the camera app. To upload a photo, press the photo button and then select your image of your sketch. This happens to be my sketch. When you open this up, at the top right-hand corner, there will be two squares. This is the layers button. There'll be a layer for your photo. You're going to press the plus sign and add a new layer. This means we're going to be drawing on top of our sketch. We aren't going to be drawing on the same level as our sketch. You're going to press the brush button and select any brush that you want to trace the lines in. I like to use an inking brush. The gel pen or the technical pen is always a really great tool, but you're welcome to try a different brush that you like as well. Up in the top right-hand corner, there's a circle. This is the color selection tool. You can select the different hues of colors, but also the different values in the middle of the circle. The color you're using will end up in the tiny circle in the top right-hand corner. After you selected your color, zoom in so you're very close to the area that you're drawing in. Use the brush tool to trace along your sketch lines. Try to use the autofill tool. Drag and drop in an area. If it fills in the shape, wonderful. If it fills the entire space, you need to go back and zoom in and connect that outline so it completely makes a solid shape. Then fill the empty shape with the autofill tool. Move along the entire foreground, going back, tracing the edges of your sketch to the edge of the paper, and using the autofill tool. If you notice your whole paper fills, zoom back in and check that you connected the lines. You'll see I made a mistake right here. Connect the lines, zoom back out, and try to use the autofill tool again. Feel free to change colors for different areas of your foreground. You'll notice I'll change colors when I switch to the inside of the flowers. I'm going to slow back down again and show you how to create something called a quick shape. I'm going to select the color yellow for the inside of my flowers and trace along my sketch. You'll notice I press and hold with my stylus and the circle all of a sudden becomes nice and smooth. I can then autofill inside of the circle. I'm going to try over here, but I'm going to try and change the shape of the circle by pressing the Edit Shape button at the top. I then can use the little blue dots to change the size of the oval or circle to create something called an ellipse. Then I can autofill inside of that shape. I'm going to keep doing this in the center of the flower and then trace the petals. Now that I'm done with the foreground, I'm going to zoom back out, go to the top Layers tool selection. I'm going to add a new layer to create some middle ground areas. You'll notice that the foreground of the flowers is below the new layer of the middle ground. I'm going to go to the color selection tool and select any hue that I would like to draw my middle ground with. You also can use the bottom paint palette area if you would like to select from a palette of colors that work well together. I'm going to zoom in to get close enough to my middle ground line. I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger here so the line is very clear where I'm drawing. Trace along the top of the middle ground line that you're filling the color area in. I'm just filling in the front of the grass here. Make sure you're going from one side of the page to the next. Drag and autofill. You'll notice that the middle ground is on top of the flowers. Go back to the layer selection tool, hold it down, and pull that layer below your foreground. Every time we fill in a new area of the middle ground, be sure to add a new layer, tracing the edges of that middle ground section, and then autofilling it with the color that you select. I'm going to do this all the way through my middle